A few months ago I decided to see whether ChatGPT could plan an entire holiday better than I could. Not just a few suggestions, but the whole thing. The result was a 12-day rail trip around northern Italy, taking in Milan, Lake Garda, Verona and Venice. The journey began with a coach from Northern Ireland to Dublin Airport. Dublin Airport itself was busy but pretty straightforward. Fast-track security was one worth having, and Ryanair's automated bag drop worked an absolute treat. ChatGPT's first recommendation was a night in Milan, just one night. I'll admit I wasn't entirely convinced, but it turned out to be a really good decision. It broke up the journey, gave us a chance to experience a little bit of the city before moving on. One unexpected discovery was Milan's historic trams. We ended up using tram number 1 just outside the hotel, which felt like stepping back in time. The hotel was excellent. We even received an upgrade. After a day of travelling, that was a very welcome start to the holiday. And naturally, no first evening in Italy would be complete without a Negroni. The next morning we boarded our first Frecciarossa train. This is where the real adventure really began, although getting luggage into the train was sometimes a bit more of a workout than I'd expected. ChatGPT had suggested Desenzano on Lake Garda as our base. Looking back, this was probably one of its best recommendations. The lake was beautiful. We spent our time exploring by boat, walking along the waterfront and simply slowing down. If I returned to this part of Italy, Lake Garda would definitely be on the itinerary again. Next came Verona. We only spent 2 nights here, and that felt about right. It's a compact city, easy to explore and full of history. The views across the city were spectacular, and of course no visit to Verona was complete without a quick visit to Juliet's balcony. One of the things I was most looking forward to was travelling around Italy by high-speed train. Overall, the trains were excellent. They were fast, comfortable and reliable, but there was one small issue. During the planning stage, I spent quite a bit of time arguing or discussing seats with ChatGPT. This was the view, not quite what I had in mind. To be fair, the train was excellent, but on this occasion, artificial intelligence didn't quite deliver the panoramic Italian scenery I'd been hoping for. Before the trip, I wasn't sure whether 4 nights in Venice would be too much. ChatGPT disagreed. As it turned out, it was right. Our hotel was in the old Jewish quarter, away from the busiest tourist areas, but still within walking distance of everything we wanted to see. Venice is one of those places that's almost impossible to describe properly. It is crowded, it is expensive, it is full of tourists, and yet it is somehow very unique. So, would I let ChatGPT plan another holiday? Absolutely. The itinerary worked, the hotels were good, the train travel was excellent, and several of the recommendations turned out to be places I might never have chosen myself. What AI can't do, at least not yet, is account for real life. It doesn't know how hot a day will feel, but as a travel planner, did a pretty impressive job.